Welcome, boys and girls, howdy, ladies and bicycles. It's the Magic Unlimited School of Mirth and Mystery. Today we're on a field trip, going down on the farm. We're going to learn zoology, biology, and even a little psychology. Here's the farm animals. Let's get the lesson started, okay? All right, very good. Now, first I want to figure out who knows the names of these animals. All right, we're going to go one by one and see if we can name the animals. And then we're going to try to figure out the voices of each of the animals. And I need everybody at home to help out, okay? So, who's the name of this animal? Do we know the name of this animal? Yes, we do. This is Mrs. Cow. And does anyone know the sound Mrs. Cow makes? Make the sound. Hear it? That's the sound of Mrs. Cow. Very good. And who is this animal? The lamb. That's right. And the sound of the lamb. Listen. That's the sound. Okay, who's next? Does anyone know this guy? Sure, it's the dog. And that's here the sound of the dog? Can you make a sound? Bark like a dog. Good, good, good. Everybody knows the dog. Who's next? You know the name of this fella? Pig, right. And the sound of the pig? Everybody can make that sound, right? That's a good sound. And who's next on the farm? The cat, right. Oh, we call her Mrs. Cat. And she's very magical. She's going to do a trick and that's the sound of the cat. You hear the sound the cat makes? Right. And here's Mrs. Cow and the rest of the animals. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about Mrs. Cat and Mrs. Cow. One day, Mrs. Cat decided to go into the barn. Now, why would she want to do that? What is so interesting about Mrs. Cat and Mrs. Cow? Well, I'll tell you. Mrs. Cow has a very special quality. You see, she gives milk. Mrs. Cow gives milk, and Mrs. Cat likes milk very much. So one day, Mrs. Cat snuck into the barn and tried to get the milk. And here's what it sounded like. First, Mrs. Cat, right? And then Mrs. Cow was a little bit upset and sounded like this. Oh. And then Mrs. Cat, and then Mrs. Cow, and then Mrs. Cat again, and then the cow again. Oh, it was a big misunderstanding. So we decided to take Mrs. Cat and take her and put her in her little cat bed and put the rest of the animals, Mrs. Cow and the rest of the animals, and put them back into the barn for the night. Mrs. Cat said, well, wait, I want to go in the farmhouse and sleep there. We said, no, you have to stay in your bed. She said, no, I'm going to do a magic trick. She said, I'll vanish. There's a little magic. Boop. And sure enough, she vanished and she reappeared back in the farmhouse just where she said, wait a minute, she's not there at all. She vanished from here and then reappeared back here, but it didn't happen. Did she really vanish? Let's take a look. Sure enough, she's vanished. Mrs. Cat is no longer here. So where did she go? Sure enough, there she is, reappeared back in the farm house. No, she's not there. You know, she's very sneaky and she's very tricky. And if you see Mrs. Cat, please let me know, because sometimes she's here and sometimes she's there. Sometimes I never know where she is, but if you see her, be sure to shout out and let me know, there's Mrs. Cat, or something like that, okay, so I can find her. You see Mrs. Cat? Do you see her? Where is she? You see her? In the barn? Or in the farmhouse? I don't see her there. But if you see her, be sure to let me know. Shout out, Mrs. Cat, okay? What? I hear you. Behind me? I don't see Mrs. Cat. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Oh, she's so clever. I'll tell you what. We're going to take Mrs. Cat and we're going to put her back into the barn for just a little while to rest until we call her and say, Mrs. Cat, can you come back? And then what's this? Who's here? Look who's here. It's Mrs. Cat. My goodness. How are you? Yes. Did you have a nice time? Oh, good. Well, we thought we'd put her to bed, but here she is. I'd like to introduce you properly to my friend Mrs. Cat. We'll put her back down here in the barn and say good night to everybody. Hello, Mrs. Cat. How have you been? Yes, you're just as cute as can be. And all the kids, I hope you have a great year in school. Do well, study hard, and we'll see you in a little while for the next lesson, okay? Right, Mrs. Cat? Right, okay. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. See you later. Okay, bye. Meow, 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 meow.